planning for a new career, Mount Hood Community College offers a great education at an affordable price. Discover all the opportunities for education and prepare for your future as you discover East Counties.
The number of germs on one's fingertips doubles after using the bathroom. And only 1 in 3 Americans wash their hands.
Hello, I'm Lynn Trainer. I'm with the Kiwanis Club of Portland, and with me here this evening are Dave Edwards from the East Portland Club and Nancy Hoffman from the Sandy Kiwanis Club. One of the questions we often get asked as Kiwanians is, what on earth is Kiwanis? And so just to give you a quick overview, Kiwanis is an organization worldwide of volunteers who work together to change the world one child and one community at a time. There are about 30 or 40 Kiwanis clubs in the Portland metropolitan area, and we work together on some projects, and each club has its own pet projects, like the Sandy Fly-In, which we're going to be talking about a little later. But this evening we want to share with you some of the projects that we do in our community. And one of those is the Kiwanis Dornbecker program. Dave, could you tell us a little bit about the Kiwanis Dornbecker program?
Sure. Kiwanis and Dornbecker Children's Hospital at OHSU have had a 20-year partnership. Kiwanians led the campaign to build the bone marrow transplant unit at Dornbecker, which opened in 1991. We supported the Dornbecker transplant unit until Dornbecker built the new hospital in 1998, at which time the unit was incorporated into Dornbecker's Kenneth W. Ford Northwest Children's Cancer Center. Then a year later, in 1999, the head of the Cancer Center asked us if Kiwanis would fund the Kiwanis Children's Cancer Fellowship Program to train the next generation of pediatric oncologists. Applying their skills, these new doctors who have just spent 3 years of intensive training would spend their careers caring for children and pursuing cures for currently untreatable forms of cancer. Last year, for example, 79 Kiwanis clubs and Kiwanis family clubs in Oregon and Southwest Washington were actively involved in the Kiwanis Dornbecker Children's Cancer Program, raising $150,000 for the fellowship program. Two of the biggest fundraisers are the upcoming Dornbecker Golf Tournament and the car raffle on the Classic 65 Mustang. You know, Lynn, the golf tournament's coming up very quickly. It's a week from this Friday, which is July the 22nd, and it's going to be held at Gresham Golf Course. It's a scramble format, which sort of levels the playing field between good golfers and those that are out just to have a good time. There's still time to sponsor a hole or to donate a prize or to contribute items to the golfers' goodie bags. And also we need volunteers on the day of the event. So if anyone has time that they'd like to donate, you can call me at my office at 503-761-3558, and that phone number will be shown at the end of the segment, I understand. One of the new features of this year's tournament is is our honorary chair, Damon Abbott, a Dornbecker patient, and his younger brother, Dallas, who donated bone marrow, his bone marrow for this life-saving transplant. And we have a short segment, if we can. It only takes a moment to set that up, I think.
At first glance, Damon Abbott and his little brother Dallas are opposites. Damon is soft-spoken, thoughtful, and studious. Dallas is an extrovert. He's a daredevil and loves to entertain. But these two brothers are tied to one another in a phenomenal way. When Damon needed a bone marrow transplant to save his life, Dallas was ready, willing, and able. When the Abbotts came to Dornbecker, Damon's cancer, called non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, had returned after a year of chemotherapy. His physician, Dr. Cammie Goddard, convinced Bruce and Timmy Sue Abbott that a bone marrow transplant was the best option to save Damon's life. The family was fortunate. Dallas's bone marrow was a perfect match.
It was really hard for me to watch him be sick in the hospital because I didn't know what I could do to help him, and whenever I tried to help him, he'd always yell at me for nothing. And when I found out that I could give my bone marrow to him, I decided that I could, and I wanted to do something to help him.
We're very proud of both our boys, knowing what Damon had to go through, having to see him when he obviously didn't feel well, going through his chemo and his radiation, and to have Dallas just step up to it and not concerned for himself. Never once asked, is it going to hurt me, or what could it do to me?
Timmy Sue keeps a scrapbook filled with photos, cards, and mementos that tell it all.
Damon shaved Bruce's head. Bruce didn't want Damon to be bald by himself. These were pictures of the night before we left for the hospital. I think we gave hugs and kisses goodnight about 10 times that night. They had just wheeled Dallas in from having his bone marrow extracted. Dallas sat next to Damon while the transplant took place.
Damon and Timmy Sue stayed in their room in the Dornbecker Cancer Center for 30 long days, playing games like Survivor to pass the time. Though he was very sick, Damon rode the exercise bike